Ladies and gentlemen, good day and welcome to the Q2 FY23 earnings conference call of Satia Industries Limited. As a reminder, all participant lines will be in listen-only mode. There will be an opportunity for you to ask questions after the presentation concludes. Should you need assistance during the conference call, please signal an operator by pressing star, then 0 on your touchtone phone. Please note that this conference is being recorded. I now hand the conference over to Mr. Diwakar Pingle from EY Investor Relations. Thank you, and over to you, sir.
Thank you, Stephen. Good afternoon, good evening, friends. Welcome to the Q2 and H1 FY23 earnings call of Satia Industries Limited. To take you through the results and answer your questions today, we have the top management team from Satia, represented by Mr. R.K. Bhandari, who is the Joint Managing Director, and Mr. Rajat Nagpal, who is the CFO. Please note that we have sent out the press release and the financials to all of you. The presentation link for the present quarter has already been uploaded on the BSE website. In case any of you don't have it, you could write to the IR team at EY and we'd be happy to send it over to you. Before we start, I'd like to say that everything that is said in this call that reflects any outlook for the future or which can be construed as forward-looking statement must be viewed in conjunction with the risks and uncertainties that we face. These uncertainties and risks are included but not limited to what we mentioned in the prospectus and subsequently in annual reports which you can find on the website. With that said, I'll now hand over the call to Mr. Bhandari. Over to you, Mr. Bhandari.
Yeah, Mr. Rajat, I think he'll change the question.
Yeah. Thank you, sir. Very good evening, and I welcome all the participants. Hope you have gone through our financial results, earning updates for Q2 and 6 months ending financial year 23. Our company is an agro and wood-based paper pulp producing company and is fully backward integrated. Our locational advantages in the wheat belt of India ensure year-round availability of raw material, and our in-house state-of-the-art clean energy production capability ensures cheap power availability throughout the year. Further, the caustic soda recovery facilities and eucalyptus plantations based on canal technology helped us in lowering costs and managing their water discharges in a clean and efficient way. I am happy to announce that we delivered strong performance for Q2 FY23 with our highest ever quarterly revenue and EBITDA and healthy growth on both Q-on-Q and year-on-year basis. Revenues for the quarter were at 4,593 million, up 146% year-on-year, on the back of increase in sale realization and sale volume, which has grown at almost 50%. We continue to realize the benefit of our new plant, which went operational in 2022. The demand looks strong, evident from our robust order book. Despite of the external headwinds faced by the industry, we were able to steer through these challenges, and the company continued its growth trajectory and made steady progress by focusing on customers. EBITDA margin have improved to 20.14% during the quarter from 16.74% in the last quarter on back of better sales realization, stable raw material pricing environment, and advantage of our increased capacity. PAT grew up by 151% in Q2 financial year 23 at rupees 508 million as compared to Q2 financial year 22. For H1 financial year 23, income from operations stood at 8,763 million, increase of 132 year-on-year. EBITDA for the period grew by 89% to rupees 1,623 million. PAT grew up by 92% to rupees 811 million. During the period, our debt equity has also improved to 0.51x from 0.57 in previous period, which is at a very comfortable situation. With this, I request the floor for any questions on the same or about the company. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. We will now begin the question and answer session. Anyone who wishes to ask a question may press star and 1 on the touchtone telephone. If you wish to remove yourself from the question queue, you may press star and 2. Participants are requested to use handsets while asking a question. Ladies and gentlemen, we will wait for a moment while the question queue assembles. The first question is from the line of Ayush Agarwal from Mithil Analytics. Please go ahead.
Good afternoon, sir. Thank you for the opportunity. I hope I'm audible.
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Great. Sir, congratulations on a good set of numbers. My first question is on our capex that we had done, our 300 ton per day capacity, including pulping and everything. So, what is the status on the pulping capacity, given that our material cost is still very high? Where are we in the pulping expansion?
Yeah, the pulping, the capex that we had done is complete. The only part that is left out is the expansion in the wood pulping capacity. So that wood pulping capacity additional will be operational by January 2023. So rest all is complete.
So, given that earlier we used to use most of in-house pulp, and right now because wood pulping hasn't expanded yet, so we are using waste paper, right? Is that why our material cost is higher than our past gross margin?
Yes, slightly. Yeah, that is one of the reasons. Yes, you are right.
Okay. So apart from wood pulping, everything has come online. So, sir, when we look at our balance sheet for H1, we see that we have done a large expansion in the last 6 months. So we have spent around 90 odd crores in H1 of this year. So what has this expansion been towards?
That has been more or less on the wood pulping capacity only, because earlier we were planning to take it from 160 to 250 ton, but later on that capacity is now planned to go to almost 300 ton, because raw material prices of even wheat straw, which earlier used to be in the range of 5,000 to 6,000 rupee per ton, have increased exorbitantly. And to reduce dependence upon wheat straw pulp alone in a major way, we have planned to increase our wood pulping capacity to 350 ton. So other element, I think Rachit will tell you what else is there.
Yes, sir. Almost 45 to 50 crores relate to the pulping capacity, capex towards this pulping capacity. 10 crores is for rewinder and some paper machine parts, and rest is the routine and routine capex.
Understood. So including this, what is the total capex that we have done on this expansion, and what can be the benefit of this 45-50 crore that we have done on wood pulping capacity?
Yeah, the total capex is around 67 crores for this pulping capacity. So yes, we will. The payback period is around 1.5 to 2 years. As currently we are using that system. After this capacity expansion, there will be continuous digesters will be, so continuous pulping will be there. So our capacity, wood capacity will increase from existing 160 ton to 300 ton, 350 ton. So our wood capacity will increase by this new advancement.
I would like to add here that it will, number one, reduce steam consumption on the wood pulping from existing 3 ton to almost 1.5 ton, which could lead to saving of almost 15 to 20 crore every year, number one. Number two, with increase in wood pulping capacity, we would be saving that additional cost of almost 10,000 rupee per ton on waste paper cost. So that will be second major advantage. Yeah.
Thank you. Before we take the next question, a reminder to the participants, please limit your questions to 2 per participant. For any follow-up, may we request you to rejoin the queue. The next question is from the line of Rajiv Mehta from Yes Securities. Please go ahead.
Yeah, hi. Am I audible?
Yeah.
Yeah. Sir, congratulations on a very good performance. So, sir, my first question is on the average selling price in second quarter, and what was it in the first quarter?
Yeah, our average sale price in the second quarter was almost 87,000 rupee per ton, while it was 78,600 rupees per ton in the first quarter. And the main reason for the lower realization in the first quarter was, as we have been telling in our previous calls also, because we do government banners, so we were carrying certain old government orders with us, which we executed in the first quarter mainly. So that was one reason for the lower average realization in the first quarter.
Sir, what is your sale breakup between such tenders where the pricing is slightly sticky and fixed, and maybe outside of those tenders, which is more market determined pricing? Is there a rough breakup of our sales so that we can understand how the pricing will move for us in the coming quarters?
Yeah, like in the first 6 months, we did almost 100,000 tons. So we supplied almost 36,000 tons to be exact to the government sector. So normally, as previously, it is in the range of 40 to 60%. 40% is government business, and 60% is the open market business.
And typically, what is the pricing difference between the two? So it is what fixed? Is it a fixed rate supply in a government tender, and what is the tenure of the tender typically?
Normally, tenure is 1 year, but practically all supplies, once the order is placed, happens within 4 to 5 months. So whatever is the existing price at that moment when we file the tender, so normally we have to carry that in the tender to win any order. Because if you think कि हाँ भाई आज 5,000 रुपये टन फालतू लेके फिर हम टेंडर कोट कर दें from the present existing price level, so that is difficult to get. So sometimes you win on that, sometimes you lose on that. So you average out. Like in COVID period, we had very good time. While others, even big players, were running at almost 60-70%, we were running at 117%. And our margins were still intact because of this only. So it plays both ways. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
The next question is from the line of Anika Mittal from Invest Research. Please go ahead.
Hello. Good evening, sir.
Yeah.
Am I audible?
Yeah. Yes.
Sir, my first question is on the current capacity utilization. Sir, what is the current capacity utilization for quarter 2, financial 23?
Yeah, our total installed capacity as on date is 205,000 tons. Overall, we will be achieving almost 105% in this year. But if we look at the previous year, we have been doing on the old capacity almost 135,000 tons. And the new capacity that we have added of 1 lakh tons, that capacity will be using 75 to 80%. So next year there is a margin of using that 25 to 30,000 ton additional production coming to the total volume.
Okay. So my next question is, what is the export percentage in quarter 2, financial 23, and in earlier quarter 1?
Our export direct and indirect is in the range of 10% of the total sale, and it is likely to continue in the future also.
Okay. My last question is, so we are seeing trend of an increase in demand from Europe due to energy crisis they are going on, because paper manufacturing is also an energy intensive business. and the crisis in Europe are impacting energy-intensive businesses. So are we seeing any trend of demand from there?
Pardon, will you repeat the question once again, please?
Sorry?
Hello. Yeah, will you repeat the question, please?
So there are energy crises going on in Europe, and the high energy-intensive energy-intensive manufacturing facilities are being shutting down. So I think, as per my knowledge, paper manufacturing is also an energy-intensive business. So are we seeing any export demand from Europe side due to this ongoing crisis?
Actually, Europe inquiries to Russia, but normally they do not mature. And energy crisis, जैसे आपने कहा energy intensive है, so coal definitely is high price at the moment. But since we are using rice husk and rice straw, rice straw is the cheapest fuel at the moment available, which is costing us almost 2,000 rupee per ton only, where husk prices is in the range of, as on date, 7,000 to 8,000 rupee per ton. And so that is why, as far as energy cost effect is there, it is minimal on our unit because of the use of rice straw to the extent of 50% of our fuel cost.
So I am asking about export demand. Actually,
that's what I told you, that there are queries from Europe, but they are not maturing.
Okay. Thank you. That's all from me.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Yogan Jeswani from Mittal Analytics. Please go ahead.
Hi, sir. Thanks for the opportunity and congratulations to the...
If you can take the phone off speaker, please. Your audio is a bit muffled.
Is it better now?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Thanks for the opportunity, sir, and congratulations to the team on a great set of numbers. Sir, a question on your pulp mill. So we have put in a pulp mill of 550 ton TPD, right? Out of which, in the initial question, you mentioned that wood pulp is still in the ramp phase. We are still setting it up. So what about the remaining, sir? Is that pulp mill fully operational and contributing to our margins in terms of margin saving?
Actually, we have 3 sections in the pulp mill. One is the agro-based. So agro-based, our average for the first 6 months was almost 220 ton per day that we consumed. Now, in the next 6 months, we will be increasing this 220 ton to almost 270 ton per day. So this 220 ton was commissioned long back and was operational already. We only increased this to by 50 to 70, 80 ton. So average should be coming around 270 ton of wheat straw pulp. That is number one. We already had wood pulping capacity operational for 150 to 180 ton per day. It was already operational. So already we were having 220 ton of agro pulp and 180 ton of wood pulp, which was already operational. So that capacity of agro is being increased from 220 to 280 ton, number one, and wood pulping from 180 to 300 ton plus. So 180 ton is already operational. We are planning to increase it to 300 ton plus.
Okay.
So since our machine has already started in February, so that additional production we are meeting with the waste paper de-inking plant, which is the third section of the pulping unit.
Okay, understood. So what I also wanted more clarity on कि जैसे अभी we already have some pulping, right? We have a well integrated plant in terms of power, in terms of pulp and everything, right? तो अभी जैसे जो हम लोग के जो efforts हैं pulping unit को लाने में, तो इस pulping unit जब fully operational होएगी तो क्या जो हमारे margins हैं वो और improve हो सकते हैं? ऐसे past में we have done 25-26 kind of operating margins. तो ये जब पल्पिंग मिल हमारा फुली स्टेबलाइज हो जाएगा और नए प्लांट के साथ रन करने लगेगा, तो क्या ये जो मार्जिन हमारे जो अभी आज 20-21% है वो 25-26-28% तक जा सकते हैं?
एक्चुअली इसमें ऐसे है कि भाई सिंस दिस न्यू मशीन PM4 which runs at almost 1100 meters per minute, that needs strong furnish, strong for which this pulp expansion is good pulping is being done. So once that is done, then we should be able to feed that machine with 100% in-house wood pulp or 10-20% some supplementary pulp. So with that, we should be able to make good quality surface size maplitho paper, which was the original plan for the kind of machine we did put up as PM4. So once this pulp mill wood pulping starts, so that quality will be produced, and then we try to place that product at par with JK, TNPL, Andhra and all these mills. So the real story for PM4 should begin almost 2 to 3 months thereafter. Number one, that will increase the sales realization of that paper, number one. Number two, as on date for PM4, the kind of orders that we are getting are in the range of average grammage is almost 54 to 55 GSM. So once we establish a product in maplitho segment, the average grammage will go up to 65 GSM, which will help us achieve 100% or 100% plus capacity utilization for that machine. So that will, so this new pulp mill will contribute both in quantity terms, number one, and in value terms also. So, but that will happen once the pulping starts in January, and number three, it will result in cost saving also, because presently we are using 10 to 20% of imported softwood pulp also, जिसकी आज की डेट में अगर हम कॉस्ट लगाएं, cost anywhere around 1,000 to 1,100 ton land, $1,100 landed in house, which is 90 rupees. So if you take 90% yield, the pulp cost would be anywhere around 100 rupees. So once you have your own in-house wood pulping cost, it cannot exceed under any circumstances, even at today's peak wood raw material price, beyond 60,000 rupee a ton. So that saving of 40,000 rupee per ton for whatever imported softwood, hardwood we use will be the cost saving. So it will have multiple effect in times to come. Yeah.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Nerit from TSG Capital. Please go ahead.
Hello, sir, and congratulations on a wonderful set of numbers. It gives me great pleasure to see that. I just wanted to know what is the reason for the other expenses head in the Q1 results, if you can shed some light on that.
Rashidji, I think you will be able to explain that.
Sorry?
Yes, there is a commission
Let me come to that.
which we have paid to our dealers. They have procured sales. So this is the reason this is a little higher in this side. With the production, with the PM4 coming up, there is an additional sale which shall be like procured through the dealers. So this is the commission amount which is on a higher side. So this is the reason the other expenses shoot up.
Actually, if you look at the percentage-wise, margin-wise, last year it was total 7.8%. And अभी भी अगर हम percentage-wise देखें तो it is more or less same. अगर हम last quarter में देखें तो it is utilities stores and is just 5%. Earlier, these used to be 7.7% in the last year. Selling expenses is in the last quarter was 6.3%. Last year average was 7.8%. So value-wise, it looks more than that because the prices have almost increased more than 50-60%. Sales price has increased. Yeah.
Also, I wanted to ask, so
We have also included fuel in this other item, so fuel cost has also increased. So this is another reason for this hike.
okay. Okay, that answers my question. The next question I wanted to ask is, so we hope to achieve 100% capacity utilization on the new capacity of 240,000 tons by next year, FY24.
No, our capacity, installed capacity is 205,000 ton at the moment.
Sorry, 205,000. Yes.
Yeah. So this year we should be doing 210,000 ton almost, achieving more than 100%. But previously our record is we have been continuously doing almost 130 to 140% of capacity utilization.
Exactly.
But I told was that this year,
30,000 tons next year.
yeah, so that new capacity, which we should be doing almost out of 1 lakh ton, we should be making almost 70 to 80,000 tons. So that 30,000 ton is likely to come additional next year. That's what I said.
Right. And after that, so if the demand scenario looks promising, so is there any greenfield capex possible?
Yeah, we are looking to some probability of increasing speed of our PM3, which is now running at almost 650 meters per minute. So management is evaluating all the factors, what kind of increase we can have with what kind of capex. So that exercise is already on. So once we finalize that, we shall come back to you. Yeah.
Thank you. Before we take the next question, a reminder to the participants, please limit your questions to 2 per participant. For any follow-up, may we request you to rejoin the queue. The next question is from the line of Harsh Mulchandani from Chris PMS. Please go ahead.
Hi, sir. Am I audible?
Yeah.
So it's a follow-up question to just ask that, wanted to understand that where do we want to take our capacity after the current expansion? Like I understand that demand scenario, etc., and the PM3, you look to increase the speed, but do you look at a 3-year time horizon that, we still want to grow aggressively from the current 2.05 lakh tons to, say, 3 lakh tons in 3 years, or some ballpark number or vision you have in terms of capacity to be grown over a slightly longer periods?
Actually, with our increase in pulping capacity of wood from 180 to 300 ton and agro to almost 280 ton, so that means we have 580 ton of pulp with us. So with 580 ton pulp, one can easily make with pulp to paper ratio of 0.85 anywhere around 680 ton paper per day. So 680 ton with 350 working days, so we could easily go up to 240,000 ton. So management at the moment is thinking that we remain within this ambit of 240 to 250,000 ton in the coming 2 to 3 years. So that is the target at the moment. But at some stage, there could be a possibility of going in for some tissue machine, but that is not decided at the moment. Yeah.
Got it. Fair enough. Thank you.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Anish Shah, an individual investor. Please go ahead.
Yeah, thank you for providing this opportunity and congratulations for the good set of number. I have a few questions. One is regarding what is the general trend on the paper industry regarding demand versus supply and export versus import, and also regarding the price trend for the paper industry. My second question is regarding the cutlery business. What is the current status on that? And are we planning any further expansion on that, which is linked with Zoom of USA? And third question is regarding, do we have any plan for the debt repayment in this year or in FY24? And one more last question is regarding new education policy. Is there any plan by government to implement it in next year, this new education policy? Any news on that? These are my few questions.
Yeah, I'll go in the reverse order. New education policy is already under implementation. They have made a committee which is suggesting new syllabus, new curriculum. and the course structure are different. That is still to come. But it is being implemented in steps only. The first changed syllabus has come this year only, and that was the reason for slight damp demand in the last year. But with the new syllabus coming this year, being released by NCERT, the private publishing should go in full swing this year. So that demand is likely to be tapered off in next 2 to 3 years. It will be coming in full within 2 to 3 years, number one. So debt repayment, we are already repaying every year almost 65 to 70 crores. So our long-term debt is in the range of almost 280 crores. So within 4 years, the old debt should be clear unless management comes up, as I said, on PM3 or some other activity which directly gives returns to the company and to the shareholders. That we will explain at that appropriate time. And in cutlery, we have more or less disengaged with Zume because their machines were not operating at the desired level of production. They had given us machines of 2-ton capacity, but they were making only 600 kg per day. So they are now taking back those machines, and in place of those machines, we have ordered 6 1-ton per day machine to a new supplier, new Indian supplier. So that is likely to be commissioned by 31st March. So first we'll have 2 machines, then second lot of 2 machines, and then third lot of 2 machines. So we may put up 6 machines. Order has already been placed. But once we clear the space of these 2 machines, maybe we can add 2 machines there, 2 more Indian machines there. So we'll be operating next year with minimum 8 to 10 ton capacity per day. So that is the plan for cutlery segment. So that order has already placed. Advances, everything is already in place, and first machine is likely to come in December itself. So as far as your first question, the general trend as far as other segments of paper industry are concerned, which is newsprint and packaging and craft paper, the prices there have come down by more than 30-40%. And similarly, raw material imported waste paper in like OCC has come down by more than 50%. But similarly, in duplex packaging grade, the prices again are on the lower side, and demand is quite weak also. In writing and printing, fortunately, the demand is very strong at the moment. And from 1st November, after the weak normal Diwali season, mills have already started increasing the prices, which have gone down slightly in the last 2 months. So already even we have announced an first hike from 1st November. And the demand in writing printing segment is very strong at the moment. We are already booked for more than 45 days. And we are likely to be placed with almost another 30 to 40,000 ton orders at very good price, almost 90,000 rupee ton plus sale realization from government segment in the next 1 or 1.5 months. So our order book is more or less planned till 31st March. So for writing printing, the demand is very good. So export, earlier first 4-5 months of this financial year, export demand was very strong. But now the prices have come down by almost 10 to 15% in the export market. We can still do the exports, but the prices are down by 10 to 15%. That demand remains there, but the prices have come down in the export market. But in Indian market and business market, prices till 30th June next year are likely to remain bullish. Yeah.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Dinesh Kumar Jain from Kowad Investment. Please go ahead.
Yes, thank you, sir. Congratulations. One second. Yeah, sure. So, first of all, congratulations for a great result. So, hello.
Yeah.
Sure. Yes, sir. So, yeah, first of all, congratulations. And sir, I just have one question. I wanted to ask, like, what do you expect the coming quarters? Like, we have increased the capacity to 15 to 20% more than that we have increased our capacities, and also our EBITDA margins are around 20 to 23%. So, what do you see? Because the demand is on the stronger side, and the supply is also able to match. So, what do you expect the coming year to be for the paper industry as such? Because that is our main segment. Your views on the paper industry as such, in terms of turnover and also as in terms of EBITDA margin.
Yeah, in paper industry, as I explained earlier, other segments are weak. Even newsprint is weak because we touched almost 80,000 rupee a ton price is now at below 60,000. But writing and printing is going strong and looks to be going strong in the coming 1 to 2 years till all things are in place, like new education policy, another 3 years, as I explained earlier, number one. Number two, the literacy rate, as we have been explaining time and again, for like country like Brazil, which are having 94% literacy, and their per capita consumption is 50 kg, while in India we are at 17 to 18 kg only. So with our government focus on literacy, writing and printing segment should not go weak in another, I would say, 5 to 10 years. That is my our view. And number three is the GDP growth. So presently we are anywhere around 2.5 to 3 trillion economy. So with growth in the size of GDP, so and with the increase in standard of living, that leads to direct increase in the demand of writing and cultural paper. So demand is good. As far as we are concerned, we should be, if the prices remain plus minus 5-10% in this segment, so we should be doing this year anywhere around 1,800, and next year we should be doing almost, we could do 2,000 crore plus also. Yeah. And margin, definitely, as we explained earlier, with in-house pulping in wood increasing and the cost benefit accruing because of that, and by replacing imported costlier pulp. So all those things should add to the margin, and it should be consistent positive growth in the margin in the coming quarter. So that is how we see as far as Satia is concerned. Yeah.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Ayush Agarwal from Mittal Analytics. Please go ahead.
So thank you for the opportunity once again. I have two questions. One is that आपने बोला कि we are trying to take our capacity to 2.4 to 2.5 lakh metric ton in the next 2-3 years. But given our very strong execution that we have seen in PM4, so sir, this volume of 2.4 lakh metric ton can easily be done in FY24 itself. Correct me if I'm wrong. So how are we planning to increase our volume beyond that? Like you are mentioning that demand is very strong for writing paper segment, and we are developing higher grade products as well. So how will our volume increase beyond FY24? Something on that will be helpful.
Actually, I related it with the pulp that we produce, because as one of you just pointed out, with the use of high cost waste paper pulp and imported pulp, the margins are definitely affected. So if we go by an ideal combination, so that is why I told the best scenario is if we use the 580 to 600 ton in-house wood pulping and agro pulping capacity and plan accordingly. So then 2,50,000 ton looking to the pulp capacity that we will be building, we are going to build within next two to 3 months is the ideal thing. That is number one. And if we want to go beyond that, and if the market scenario permits, we always have 150 ton of deemed pulping capacity also. So we can any day use that also to increase our production capacity. So, but that is not the focus at the moment. In the next 2 to 3 years, the idea is to achieve this 250,000 ton, and in the meantime, see whether to go in for additional capacity in writing and printing only, or in tissue segments also. So tissue could be the second option that management is considering at the moment.
Understood. And sir, last question is on currently what percentage of waste paper and softwood imported pulp we are using of the total pulping that we have? आपने बोला 10-20% is softwood pulp, and how much would be waste paper?
Waste paper is almost 15%. Agro is 45%. Wood is 30%.
Okay, so currently still 35 to 40% is. Sorry, go ahead.
45% is the agro pulp.
Mm-hmm.
And 29-30% is the wood pulp. 15% is the waste paper pulp, and 10 to 12% is the imported pulp.
Okay. And once our wood pulp comes online or is operational, roughly 90 to 95% will be in-house pulp, right?
Yeah. So no. Then, as I said earlier, last quarter में हमने use किया 250 ton agro pulp, which will be 260 to 270 ton per day in the next third quarter, and wood will be almost 160 to 170 ton in the third quarter. So whatever increase in agro pulp will be the reduction in imported pulp and waste paper pulp.
Okay, understood.
Yeah. And in the final quarter, maybe we reduce the imported pulp to 4-5%.
Thank you. The
Yeah.
next question is from the line of Vaibhav Barjatia from Honest and Integrity Investment. Please go ahead.
Yeah. Hi, sir. Thanks for providing the opportunity. I just have two questions. One is on the competition from imports. As we all know, I mean, last year and a half has been really tough from import. I mean, imports were really tough because of sharp rise in the freight rates. But now the freight rates are significantly going down. So, do you think that there can be increased import of writing and printing paper from countries like Indonesia? Do you think that this can now happen and that can put some prices pressure on prices?
Yeah, it is already happening. They are already booking large tonnage from the big consumers in some sectors. Actually, the issue is in imported paper is you are restricted with using only one size. So, the big consumer, they can definitely place their orders on them who have standardized their products, standardized the grammage and standardized the real size, and who can invest in the lead time also. Because if you place order today, the imported paper comes within a period of minimum 2 to 3 months. इनकी जो delivery का scenario है. So once you order one thing today, you cannot change the size and grammage. But in the market competition, अगर आज एक आदमी 54 ग्राम की कापी बना रहा है, दूसरा 53 मांगता है, तीसरा बंदा 55 सेंटीमीटर की जगह बोलेगा 54.5 सेंटीमीटर की जीन दे दो. So that is the kind of cutthroat competition in the market at every level. So then you are left out in that, you are left out आपके पास वो फ्लेक्सिबिलिटी नहीं रहती है. तो दैट इज वन रीजन के majority of the consumers, which are more than 90%, they use only indigenous paper. But secondly, the price factor, even today, the imported paper, anybody who is away from the port city of Bombay, उसको कॉस्ट लैंडर्ड 90 के करीब पड़ती है घर में. तो आज जो हमारी रियलाइजेशन है दैट इज आल्सो 87,000 रुपी पर टन. So our cost is almost the same and quality is the same. So unless our prices go up exorbitantly, number one, and number two, their prices come down another 4, 5, 10%, so that people are able to carry the inventory and carry the risk of stock outs also. So that is the kind of tension जिसकी वजह से imported paper small consumer में नहीं चलता. तो बड़े कंज्यूमर तो पहले भी कर रहे थे जब प्राइसेस उनको फिट बैठ रहे थे और आज भी कर रहे थे. एनीबॉडी लाइक नवनीत जो बिग वॉल्यूम लेते हैं 1000, 1500, 2000 टन, वो ऑलरेडी they have placed orders for imported paper. So that kind of paper has always coming to India and will keep coming. So the major problem in times to come could be in the copier paper. Earlier copier paper में गवर्नमेंट की तरफ से थोड़ा था प्रोटेक्शन थी, but now Indian mills they have to compete with their quality and their cost. So time will tell, but we have to live with the competition and survive and excel.
Right. Got it. So thanks for answering that question. The last one was on the pricing for agro residue. We keep hearing different things, about the agricultural produce and hence the agri residue, and also because of the energy crisis, coal shortage, there is some diversion of agri residue towards power sources. So what's your sense on the pricing of agri residue going forward? If you can give your views, that would be great.
Yeah, actually, if we look at the agro residue raw material which was being used for pulp and paper making, as you rightly said, with the crisis in the coal prices and other energy inputs, raw material. So people have even started using bagasse as fuel in so many states. So that has led to increase in pressure on the demand supply side of the wheat straw, which used to be the first major agro input, and second used to be the bagasse. And but earlier we were using lot of sarkanda also, grasses also, which come in the bamboo category only. And now we had in the last 2-3 years stopped using sarkanda, though otherwise it is a very good pulp material. So once that pressure on agro has started coming, we have started using now sarkanda also from this year. We are becoming aggressive on that raw material also. So naturally, as the market dynamics change, one has to find ways to save wherever one can. So that is the way one has to work. So as far as fuel is concerned, we have explained earlier also, we had 3 boilers running. One is running on rice husk alone, and the second boiler is running on rice straw alone. So now we are putting up a new boiler which will be able to run off all kind of biomass available, which could be leaves of the sugar cane, which could be mustard straw, which could be mustard husk also, which could be rice straw also. So all those materials pricing is below 3,000 rupee per ton. So we may be replacing our existing rice husk based boiler also in the coming year to other biomass based, which cost us anywhere between 2,000 rupee to 3,000 rupee per ton of fuel. So that is going to be the major saving in the coming year as Satia is planning. in paper industry at the moment, nobody is using the kind of quantity that we are using for rice straw. We are using in these 2 months. Today we are getting almost 5 to 6,000 ton of rice straw, which used to be burnt in the fields daily into our 10 different locations, open stock grounds. So we will be storing 1.5 lakh ton of rice straw in just 2 months, which will be burnt in the next 10 months. So one has to, there is no other way around to survive in the market. You have to save where you can save. So that is how Satia is working. Yeah, that is why you see sometimes there is lot of capital expenditure also there. So capital expenditure coming with growth and lot of cost economics, I think it is always good. And you can see that जो हमारी return on capital employed, that is a very good percentage. Yeah.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Prashant Rishi from Cascade Capital. Please go ahead.
Sir, once agro pulping capacity improves to, like you said, 280 tons per day, and wood pulping capacity increase to 300 tons per day, उसके बाद से जो अभी जो present waste paper pulp capacity है, उसका what is the plan? Will it lie idle उसके बाद, मतलब post January 23, like you said?
Actually, that capacity we always, even when we were earlier making 300 ton paper per day, we used to have 60 to 80 ton waste paper pulping capacity. Reason is that sometimes there comes situation that your soda recovery boiler is under maintenance. So that period is normally 15 to 45 days depending upon the work that you do, unless you have standby recovery boiler. So in that period or in times of difficulty in any kind of raw material, or in case of any plant maintenance or plant shut of any of the wood pulping or wheat straw pulping, we always get the support of the waste paper pulping, so that our total volume of production doesn't suffer.
Okay, all right. और सर ये जो agro pulping capacity जो आपकी expand हो गई 280, this will happen by next quarter by sure, no?
No, it is already, actually earlier there were, we had done certain modification in the wood pulping capacity. So with that modification, I think we already told that we had put up a DD washer, which is 5th or 6th installation in India in any pulp mill, that washes the pulp. Normally you must have seen paper industry, तो pulp को 4-5 stages में wash करते हैं. So that single washer does 3 washing in itself. So उससे हमारी जो एक pulp की washing line थी वो खाली हो गई थी, and we had a standby wood cooking apparatus available with us. So we shifted that line to agro, and it is already operational.
Okay.
Yeah.
280 tons per day already agro हो चुका है, agro pulping line.
हाँ, हो चुका है, and today we are using almost on average in this month almost 260 to 270 ton per day of agro pulp. Yeah. Last 6 months जो पहले half year था उसमें average was 215 ton. Yeah, that is what I explained earlier.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Rajiv Mehta from Yes Securities. Please go ahead.
I wanted to know some structure. Now it's okay?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Sir, structural outlook क्या होगा pricing का? Because you limited your comments on pricing saying that June तक अच्छा दिख रहा है. And I think you also spoke about having taken some price hikes from November. So it's a two-part question. Do you see your Q3 realizations being better than Q2 in terms of average for the quarter? And what can structurally keep the pricing at these levels for a longer period there, beyond June also?
Yeah, I just said that we are certain till June because of the orders that we are getting from the government sector. If I am getting, today I have 20,000 in hand, and I am getting good price orders from government sector, another 40-50,000 ton in the next 1.5 months. So that means I have in hand orders of almost 70,000 tons. So that leaves me with the additional production capacity available for open market, just another 30-40,000 tons. So I said based on that कि I am confident कि जून तक मेरे प्राइस अच्छे ही रहेंगे, मार्केट में चाहे प्लस माइनस भी होगा, तो it will not affect that. That's what I said. Otherwise, if the momentum remains in the market, I think जो cost level has, which is for everybody. Fuel prices are high for everybody. Caustic prices going beyond 60,000, 70,000 is for everybody. Peroxide and all kind of other chemicals, same for everybody. Wood prices, they are increasing. Agro, raw material increasing for everybody. So that cost effect is for everybody. So that kind of price is likely to sustain in the longer run also. But my comment was in view of the orders that I am getting. Yeah.
Okay. And my second question is whether Q3 realizations will be better than Q2. Is that possible? And one more thing is on whether the other capacities, so as you spoke that for kraft paper and for other kinds of paper which other players are into, their prices have corrected by 30-40% at 20-odd%. Can they change their capacity to writing and printing? Is that a fungible capacity or it's not possible for them?
Yeah, actually only some of the newsprint manufacturers, they can change to writing printing, but they won't change because the raw material for newsprint has corrected by more than 50%, 40-50%. So at the moment, even at 60,000 rupee a ton, newsprint manufacturers, they won't shift to writing printing, who are the only ones who could shift to writing printing, but they don't match the quality that we make. They affect the lower end of the writing printing manufacturer who make paper only from indigenous paste. Yeah, so and craft people or duplex people, they cannot shift. Yeah.
Thank you.
Welcome.
The next question is from the line of Anish Shah, an individual investor. Please go ahead.
Yeah, thank you for providing opportunity for follow-up question. This is regarding Zume machine, which we are now no longer doing business with them. So can you please advise what was the capex done on that, and what is the capex plan for the new machine which we are going to install? I think 6 or 8 numbers. And last question regarding renewable energy certification. So what was the revenue from that part in this quarter or for the half year?
Ratishji, I think you will be able to explain better.
Hello. Yes, sir. To renewable energy, we have received almost 2 crores in the half year 2020 first half from the renewable energy. We are expecting another 6 to 7 crores in the next 2 quarters. So on an average, we are expecting around 8 crores in this year from REC.
Okay. And what was the capex done for the Zume machine, which now?
Capex was almost 20 crores, 10-12 crores was on the supply side of pulp to the machine, number one. And 6-7 crores was the cost on the machines itself. Building was already there, so there wasn't. So total capex was in the range of 15 to 20 crores. So out of that, the machine cost will be reimbursed by the Zume, whatever we have spent. So they are repaying us that batch because they could not deliver and they are placing those machines somewhere else. So we don't stand to lose on that. The only loss that we are making on this is idle line capacity for the pulping section, which is 10 to 12 crore. So once the new automatic machines start coming from December, so we will slightly start using that capacity, and by the first quarter next year, total capacity of that plant will be utilized. Yeah.
Okay, and what will be the capex for that?
The cost of these machines, 6 machines, is again in the range of similar same price, 7 to 8 crore rupees. Yeah.
It is per machine or total cost?
Total cost installed will not exceed more than 10 crore.
Okay, and what will be the revenue potential for this business?
So if they operate as has been committed by the supplier today at 70% capacity, so 700 and 4 ton per day and 330 days if we take. So it should be anywhere around 30 to 40 crores. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
The next question is from the line of Dinesh Kumar Jain from Kawat Investment. Please go ahead. So Jain, your line is in talk mode. Kindly go ahead with your question, please. As there is no response from the current participant, we move to the next question from the line of Ayush Mittal from Mittal Analytics. Please go ahead.
Hello.
Yeah,
good afternoon, sir. First of all, thanks a lot for the detailed discussion and insights, and congratulations on a good performance. Sir, between the discussions, if we carefully observe, at one hand, you are saying that our performance will get better now as we start using more of wood pulp and become more integrated in coming quarter, and maybe already that we are doing. So what I can understand is that our margins are bound to go better, and operationally we'll be much better off. So have we started benchmarking ourselves to the leaders in the industry or something like that? Because we have several benefits in terms of cost structure. Like you are saying that we are one of the few who are using so much of cheaper cost power sources and all those things. So how is the thought process at the management end to leverage from here the company to the next
level? If we see at the performance of the company, so our performance has been more or less quite consistent in the last 3, 4, 5 years, if you look at the years. So our effort all the time is to do what best we can do at this point of time, and results are definitely bound to come with time. Nobody could earlier think of using a rice straw boiler in the process industry, which were used only in the power industry in Punjab. क्योंकि पावर में ये होता है कि अगर आज 2 दिन के लिए प्लांट आपको बॉयलर बंद भी करना पड़ता है फॉर क्लीनिंग, तो यू कैन मैनेज दैट. लेकिन प्रोसेस इंडस्ट्री में यू कैन नॉट शट डाउन द बॉयलर इवन फॉर हाफ एन आवर और 1 hour, नॉट टू टॉक ऑफ 2 days. So we have been putting efforts only, and results are coming. And as you rightly said, with the full backward integration, with increase in agropulp, with increase in wood pulp, and with fuller utilization of the capacity to, let's say, 240,000 ton plus minus in the next financial year, and with the commissioning of the new boiler, which could use 100% other than rice as biomass based fuel. So results could be extraordinary also. Yeah, I would comment only that. I won't go beyond that. Yeah.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, that was the last question for today. I now hand the conference back to the management for their closing remarks. Over to you, sir.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, everybody, for your keen interest and your interesting questions. You are always welcome. If you have any queries, you can contact our CFO, Mr. Rajit, and myself also. So thank you. Thank you for your interest once again. Thank you.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of Satia Industries Limited, that concludes this conference. We thank you all for joining us, and you may now disconnect your lines.